The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Lacson Soto tandem is looking to adopt and campaign for 14 senatorial candidates in its slate. Mean Los Baños now reports to us live from Pasig to tell us more about this. Mean, good afternoon. Could you tell us who these candidates are and from which parties they come from?
Hi, Charles. Good afternoon. Yes, these 14 candidates come from different parties. Among them are NPC, or Nationalist People's Coalition of Senate President Soto, and Partido Reforma, which is now being chaired by Senator Ping Lacson. Charles, some are incumbent senators seeking re-election, some are comebacking senators. Let me just give you a rundown of some of these 14 names. Sorsogon Governor Chis Escudero, Congressman Loren Legarda, Senators Mig Subiri, Sherwin Gatchalian, Joel Villanueva, Richard Gordon, former Senator J.V. Ejercito, former Makati Representative Monsieur Del Rosario, Dr. Mingita Padilla, former Secretary Manny Piñol, DICT Secretary Gringo Onasa, media practitioner Paulo Capino, and a surprise candidate who, according to Senator Lacson, they will announce in the days to come, Charles.
Man, was any specific reason given behind them planning to campaign for more than 12 senatorial candidates?
Well, Charles, it seems like the Lacson Soto tandem could not just let go of any of those 14 senatorial candidates that they have right now, because according to Senator Lacson, they were able to talk to all these candidates one by one, and they believe that they are all aligned to the platform of the Lacson Soto tandem, which is integrity in public service. And so now, the initial plan is to campaign with these 14 senatorial candidates and allow the people to choose who among these senatorial candidates deserve a Senate seat. But just to be clear, Charles, that this is not final yet, since there will still be substitutions, or there is still a substitution allowed until November 15. But for now, again, like what I said and what you said, the Lacson Soto tandem will have 14 senatorial candidates in their lineup, Charles.
Ma'am, did Senator Lacson give us any hints as to might possibly be the surprise candidate? What do we know so far?
Oh, no hints yet, Charles, but right now Senator Lacson is saying that the talks are ongoing, and what we now know is that this surprise candidate already confirmed to them that he or she will really join the Lacson Soto tandem, and this candidate will join them in the upcoming campaign. Charles.
Yeah, I suppose we'll just have to wait and see until that surprise finally comes out. But then let's talk about, there's much been said about this rule on substitution of candidates. What is Senator Lacson's take on this issue, and particularly on the push to amend the Omnibus Election Code on this rule?
Yes, actually, Charles, Senator Lacson agrees to the move, or to the two plans to actually amend the Omnibus Election Code, because he also believes that the process of substitution is already being abused by some who filed their COCs without real intention of going through the process of campaign and proceeding with the election proper. So he agrees to the amendment, to amending the Omnibus Election Code, Charles.
Right, on another topic, I understand that there were unification talks between the Soto-Lacson tandem and VP Robredo. How did this go?
Well, in the press con this morning, Senator Lacson admitted that he felt upset, actually, or insulted in the last meeting that they had with Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Franklin Drilon, both coming from the Liberal Party. Senator Lacson told us that he did not notice this in the meeting, but it was Senate President Soto who told this after the meeting, that Senator Drilon allegedly made hand gestures or hand motions pointing to VP Leni and SP Soto, as if implying that the two should make a tandem and that Senator Lacson should just withdraw from the presidential race. And Senator Lacson said that he felt insulted by this move. And for now, Senator Lacson said he will not withdraw from the race because they have already decided that they will push through with this election, or with this tandem, Lacson Soto tandem, and there is no unification to talk about as far as the Lacson Soto tandem is concerned. Charles.
Thanks for those updates, Mean. That was Mean Los Baños reporting live from Pasig City. The National Privacy Commission says sending out unauthorized emergency alert messages is unlawful. NPC Chair Raymond Liboro explained on Agenda that a text blast not sanctioned by the government infringes on the right of people to be notified. Liboro emphasized that the public should be asked for their consent prior to receiving such messages and be given the option to turn it off. He added that the unauthorized use of it lessens the credibility of real emergency alerts being sent out by the government during calamities. And his remarks came amid a probe into a text blast with the name of presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos.
You are depriving, you are impinging on the rights of data subject. Yung rights natin to be notified and to have a choice. So kapag binobroadcast yun, right, no choice ka eh. Tama? Hindi rin sinasabi sa'yo kung saan gagamitin ito.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Hospitals are facing an exodus of nurses and a shortage in anti-COVID drugs. Philippine College of Physicians President Dr. Maricar Limpin said that nurses are expected to leave the country and work abroad. This as other countries are opening up slots for Filipino healthcare workers. And aside from this, the health sector is also facing a shortage in tocilizumab, a drug used for COVID-19 patients.
Hindi kami nadagdagan. Actually, I think for some hospitals nabawasan pa sila, no? Dahil may like yung mga iba na supposedly ay na-hire ng Department of Health, no, na nilagay doon sa mga government hospitals, hindi nga nag-renew. Ang tocilizumab hanggang ngayon ay pahirapan yan, no, ng paghahanap. In fact, yun nga ang major frustration namin. Yung mga tao na dapat na binibigyan namin ng tocilizumab, hindi nga namin mabigyan.
Harvard immunologist Michael Mina underscores the important role of COVID-19 rapid tests. He says these could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives, especially when we had no vaccines. More details in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
It's been so hard in this pandemic to know that we had a tool before the vaccines existed that could have actually saved hundreds of thousands of lives. It's going to be very accurate to let me know, am I a risk to the people around me when I get onto the bus or the train into my office or before or when I get to school. So rapid antigen tests are fast. They are very sensitive for infectious individuals, to answer the question, am I infectious? And whether you're symptomatic or asymptomatic, it doesn't matter. The test doesn't care about your symptoms. It only cares about how transmissible you are and how much virus you have. Most of the rapid antigen tests are using a simple nasal swab, which isn't one of the deep ones. It's just it's one that just goes in the front of your nose as though you're picking your nose with a swab, essentially. So they don't hurt. And it's just capturing the virus on the swab if it's there. It's identical, essentially, to the type of technology we use in pregnancy tests. Most of where my interest has been how do we use these as public health tools? And in that domain, we have two uses. One is what I call entrance screening, and one is outbreak suppression screening. Entrance screening is kind of what it sounds like. It's like a bouncer at the door before you go into an event. It is the thing that keeps the school classroom safe. And the way it works is you use the test before you enter into an event or a building. That is a very powerful tool to get the economy back running, keep schools open. But then the most important way that we can use these tests from an epidemiological framework is to actually stop the outbreaks from even arising in the first place. And if we can stop outbreaks from getting big, then everyone is safer, regardless of if you're vaccinated or testing on a regular basis. I've just been banging the drum about this really simple tool that frankly could have prevented the outbreaks of last winter. It could have prevented the outbreaks of this year, and it could have, especially when we had no vaccines, it could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
Netflix hit series Squid Game is fueling a worldwide craze for a Korean delicacy called dalgona. Let's watch this Bloomberg Quick Take.
상우야, 어떻게 할까? 글쎄.
지금 며칠째 몇백 명, 계속 몇백 명 주는
다 기억이 안 나고요.
네.
4주째인데 쉰 날이 없어요.
오징어 게임 이전에도 이거 하셨나요?
네, 계속 했어요.
근데 갑자기 이게 오징어 게임 때문에 유명해졌는데 어떤 생각이 드셨어요?
큰일 났구나. 많이 바쁘겠다. 그래도 유명해져서 해외에 계신 분들까지 다 알게 돼서 되게 기뻐요.
할만하세요?
성공 솔직히 오늘 할 줄 알았는데 어렵네요.
몇 분째 하시고 계시는 거예요?
지금 한 5분 정도?
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Starting today, the country will no longer require fully vaccinated Filipinos for doing facility-based quarantine after arriving from abroad. They test negative in RT-PCR test 3 days before arriving in the Philippines. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno insists on being a unifying candidate, despite his recent tirades against Vice President Leni Robredo. And TMT is just one win away from booking a finals ticket at this year's PBA Philippine Cup. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.